Hi, today we are going to begin our clay unit and we're going to explore texture and form. Form is 3D artwork that takes up space and can be seen in the round. And we are going to create a sculpture inspired by the Chinese foo dog. Here in America, we call it a foo dog. In China, it is called a stone lion. In Japan, it's called the shishi or komainu. Um, The foo dog or Shishi guardian lion began being made and depicted in China in the Han Dynasty in 200 BC. The Han Dynasty was the first big organized dynasty in China, and they did a lot of trade through the Silk Road, and they received gifts from Babylon of actual lions. Lions are not in China, and they had never seen them before, but they loved them, and they thought they would be a great model for temple guardians. So as you can see, what I did here on this slide was I just showed you that the arts were very important in Han Dynasty, and they created a lot of sculptures out of clay and bronze. And so the little house is just a depiction of a house. There's very, very many of them, and we know a lot about the Han Dynasty because of their art and because of this pottery depicting exactly how they lived, which is really cool. Here's another little cart with a horse pulling it. You can see that it's just really shows exactly how their vehicles looked, what they were like, and these two lions in the middle are sculptures of the temple guardians. So the temple guardians have special symbols. The male has his paw on a sphere. It represents the earth, and there are usually geometric patterns on it. It represents order. The female lion paw is over a little cub that is upside down, symbolizing nurturing and care. They're usually quite fierce. They have buggy eyes, and their mouths are open in a roar, their claws are out, and even though there is a male and a female lion, they are both depicted as male, because remember, once those lions that were gifts of the were probably males, and once they died, there were no more lions in China to look at. And so slowly throughout the years, these lions, as they sculpted them more and more, became looking more like dogs and other animals because they just didn't have the references anymore. So the male and the female both will have manes, and even the baby lion usually has some sort of very fancy mane. You'll see in a lot of Chinese art, if there is a fierce or angry person, their mouths are open, they have fangs, and they have those really buggy eyes. And so they were meant to scare off evil spirits, and they had to be fierce because the evil spirits are fierce. And their mouth is usually open. You can see the fangs and tongue, and it comes from Buddhism, which was very popular in the Han Dynasty. And it's called the lion's roar, and that's to speak with an unshakable confidence. Is when the lions roar in the forest, all the creatures tremble. And it's true, you can hear a lion's roar from miles away. The collar symbolizes that it is a civilized being, that it is not necessarily tame, but it is of our society and part of our society. Nowadays, the lions, also called guardian lions, also called foo dogs, are all over the world. They have been adopted by many Asian countries, and they're called different things. But you can I just showed these pictures from the Hammer Museum just to show you how they're everywhere. They're made small sculptures, they're bookends, they're everything, but they're still on either side of the door, male and female. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our clay to create our own temple guardian. You can make it male or female, but I'd like you to include a collar. I'd like you to include texture, and I want us to put it on a base, and I want you to make sure you can dig into the form and add onto the form. So we don't want to just draw on the form, and I'll instruct you on that when the time comes. And that is the introduction to Temple Guardian.